Time to clean your house and turn it into cash. What's up everyone, welcome back to Free to Be, David here, and today I want to talk about how you can go and declutter your house and turn that into some cash. Now before we get started, as always, if you are new to my channel, please take a moment and click the subscribe button down below. I cover financial literacy here, as well as tracking my progress to financial independence, and hopefully by doing that, I'm bringing you guys valuable information that you can use on your journey as well. And if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back, I really do appreciate it. Okay, so I used to be like this too. I would think about cleaning the house as this huge chore, and I would hate doing it. Absolutely hate doing it. Until one day I just completely changed my approach. I went from thinking of it as a chore to thinking of it as an opportunity to make money. Let me go find some cash in my house. And that's the same approach I take every single time it's time to clean the house and declutter the closet. I look at it as a great opportunity to make some extra money and put it in a savings account or an investment account. And so in today's video, I want to cover 6 steps that you can follow to turn your clutter into cash. And if you're on board with that mission, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. All right, so step number 1, the first thing you're going to want to do is be brutally honest. This happens to all of us. We go through our closet and look through all the clothes that we have in there, and we think to ourselves, maybe I'll wear this again in the future. If you have not worn an article of clothing that you own for 1 whole year, it is time to get rid of it. If you have gone through an entire year's worth of seasons and haven't worn that piece, get rid of it. And it's tough, but you have to remember that, hey, in all likelihood, if I haven't worn it this year, I'm not going to be wearing it next year, because it is now an old piece of clothing. You are also going to be purchasing new clothing. If it's something like that, put it in a pile to get rid of. And do the same thing with electronics or anything else. If you haven't used it in a year, year and a half, in all likelihood, you're not going to be using it in the future. If it's electronics specifically, it's probably obsolete at this point anyways. And by the next time you want to use it, you're probably going to upgrade to a different model. So if you have gone a year, year and a half, and you haven't worn the item or you haven't used the item, put it into a separate pile for decluttering. Now the second step in this process is to go through the pile that you just created. You just went through all the rooms in your house. You went through the closet, the drawers, and you created this pile of stuff that you're willing to get rid of. So now you have to separate it out into different categories so that you can effectively get it to where it needs to go. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to separate out anything that's really damaged or super worn, and you're going to want to probably put that in a pile to throw away. Now after that, look for name brand clothing and put that into a separate pile. Now your third pile should be anything that is electronic or might have some value there. And finally, in the fourth pile, you could put anything that may be lightly worn, that isn't name brand, lightly used, that you're willing to donate. And now that you've created these piles, it's time to move on to the third step, and that is to deal with the electronics first. Go through the electronics pile and see if there's anything that you can sell online. Sell it on eBay, or you can sell it through platforms like Gazelle, but see if there's anything of real value that you can actually sell online. If there isn't any value, if it's an old cord that's obsolete, if it's like a RCA cord from 20 years ago, toss that away now as well. But if it is something that you can list online and make some money doing that, do that. All right, now the fourth step in the process is to host a yard sale. Whatever you have left that you haven't been able to post online, you're going to host a yard sale, whether it's through your community or at a friend's yard or your own yard, and you're going to try to sell as many of these items that you have left now. And obviously you want to price them to sell. Don't just be overpricing your items hoping that it won't sell. Price them to sell, and you can negotiate with people too to get the best deal, but price them to sell, because ultimately the point of this is to get rid of them, and if you can make some money in the process, all the better. Which brings us to our fifth step. So far we've decluttered the house, we've created these different piles, we've tried to sell our electronics online, we've had a yard sale and sold some of their clothes and things through there, and now what do? Now you have all this other stuff that you weren't able to get rid of, either online or through the yard sale. What should you do with the rest of this stuff? Now it's a great opportunity to use this as a way of getting a tax write-off by donating the rest. And by donating the rest of the goods, A, you're decluttering your house, B, you're helping people that may need these items, and C, you will get a tax write-off for those goods that you donated. So it's a win-win-win.
Make the poster into a t-shirt. Win-win.
Win.
Fine.
But
it is done.
And that's probably the best outcome you could hope for. And finally, the sixth step in this process is to be smart with your profits. You've gone through the entire process of decluttering your house. You've cleaned up and gotten rid of a lot of items. You've sold items online. You've sold items through a yard sale. You've donated the remainder of the items. You're gonna get a tax write-off. What do you do with all this money? Well, your first thought may be to go splurge on something for yourself, but that's just not a good idea. What you should do instead is take any money you've made and put it in a high yield savings account or an investment account, because saving pennies now or dollars now can help you avoid going into debt in the future should your car break down, or you need to replace your dishwasher or change your roof, or well, whatever expenses may come up. Because ultimately, again, that's the best thing, right? You're selling things that you had laying around in your house that you weren't using, and now you've built a little emergency fund for yourself with the profits. So look at it that way. I never approach cleaning the house as a chore anymore, because again, it's an opportunity to find money that I had sitting around in products and items that I wasn't using. And honestly, ever since taking on that approach, I've never had more fun cleaning my house. And hopefully this approach really changes the way you look at clutter and look at cleaning your house and the chore in general, because now you might approach it as a money finding mission, and it might just make your time that much better. So if you like this approach, let me know that in the comments down below. If you have a better approach, let me know that as well. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.